Shabbat Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh Shemi Hawashai, Bahashim Kwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. To the Aquat that are listening and learning, being a pillar of rest, the 144,001 third, the hopeful elect of Israel. I'm Brother Yashua. I'm back with the World War III Daily Update. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all you out there. We're going to start at 2nd Ezra 6 and 22. 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. Like right there in the Donbass, right? And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. All right, so let's take a look from the eyes of the Alexanders at the Duran. 3 hours ago, Ukraine disaster incursion into Russia. So Ukraine is running up on their Russian brothers on their own border. That's crazy. Anyway, take it away.
All right, Alexander, let's talk about the invasion of the Ukraine military into Belgorod and Kursk. They've tried it once, they've tried it twice, they've tried it 3 times, and they're just getting annihilated. They're trying to invade Russia, these border towns. All of this is going on during a time when Russia's holding its presidential elections. So obviously there's a PR angle to this, but there could be some more to this than just a PR angle. There are reports that a lot of these troops are foreign mercenaries or foreign trained, and there are a lot of reports that there may have been some idea of some sort of advancement into a nuclear facility and some sort of sabotage or false flag event being cooked up by the Zelensky regime and the Ukraine military. But the bottom line is that they're just getting annihilated with each and every attempt. And when I mean they're getting annihilated, it's very, very bad for the Ukraine military. And I just want to say that I think this is going to have a reverse effect than what the Zelensky regime and perhaps their NATO handlers are thinking this is going to have, because I'm starting to hear talk about Russia perhaps moving to create a buffer zone. This was discussed months ago, specifically by Medvedev, but now they're talking again about, we're getting a bit sick and tired of these stunts that they're pulling, so maybe we're finally ready to create a nice demilitarized buffer zones so that we don't have to deal with these types of incursions and strikes into Belgorod and Kursk.
Well, that's exactly right. I think you summarised the situation very well. Now, this was by far the most organised, pre-prepared and largest attempt at an incursion into Belgorod and Kursk region that the Ukrainians have carried out up to now. I mean, it looks like thousands of men were committed. There's been a large numbers of tanks and Bradley infantry fighting vehicles. The fact that the Bradleys were being used for this strongly suggests that the Western powers were, have provided the green light for this. I've also received reports, which I believe are true, that the French Foreign Legion provided a lot of the training for the troops that carried out this incursion. I also understand that some of the planning for this might have been done through the West. Kirill Budanov's name gets much cited here about, playing the role that he's supposed to play. It was clearly done with a view to disrupting the Russian elections. And, you could see all the various um, pieces that were moved at the same time. You send troops into Belgorod and Kursk. You try and capture some villages. You claim that the troops who are entering Belgorod and Kursk are Russians, not Ukrainians at all, but Russians who are opposed to Putin. That claim, by the way, has become completely threadbare and has collapsed as a result of an attempt by the Ukrainians to try and insert a paratroop group with helicopters behind the Russian lines. That attempt.
Say goodbye to old costly cable TV once and for all.
Slovakia.
Catastrophically failed, by the way. But anyway, it's clearly a Ukrainian military operation. But anyway, the idea was gain control of some villages in Russia, presumably declare some kind of alternative government or something like that in some of these villages. Perhaps, in fact, quite plausibly, in fact, I'm getting reports that this was very much part of the initial plan, seize this facility near Belgorod where nuclear weapons were stored. There's no doubt this facility exists. The only question is whether there are actually nuclear weapons there. And I wonder whether the Russians would in fact keep nuclear weapons so close to the contact line. But anyway, that's another story. Seize that facility, embarrass the Kremlin, embarrass Putin, blackmail the Russian government, say, we're in control, you must pull back from Ukraine or we'll do something really bad, who knows. They apparently brought a large amount of engineering equipment with them, intending to consolidate control of the villages that they captured and to fortify them against any possible Russian counterattack and drag this thing on for weeks. And at the same time, even as all this was going on, another big fleet of drones launched into Russia, into the depths of Russia, to try to cause as much disruption within Russia itself as possible.
Sounds like we're at war. All right, so we're going to end it off right there. Go back and watch the rest of this. It's another 15 minutes. Yep. You want to see what's going on with the disastrous incursion, invasion, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's get this on the way out. This is what it's called. This debacle has a name. And this is what it is. It's in the Bible. Revelation 11:14, the second woe has passed, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Third woe, World War III. World War II is past, and behold, World War III cometh quickly. All right? But you got to be spiritual to understand. It doesn't say that. All right? So with that, we hope that the elector edified you, brothers and few sisters, with that shalom. Shabbat shalom.